Yo, people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. It's Tapping Tobes here. Here with another Spurs related video. I hope you're liking my consistency. I'm mixing it up. Some days streams, some days video uploads. It just gives me a lot more flexibility, and it allows me to be a lot more consistent. And I can do these things now because I got my new laptop with me. But anyway, let me not deviate. I'm here to talk about Harry Kane, right? I'm here to talk about Harry Kane because the talk of him to join Madrid is not going away. Now, I understand that a lot of the talk is hearsay. It's hypotheticals, right? But the noise around Harry Kane and a potential move to Madrid, it's not slowing down. It's, if anything, it's picking up. And Harry Kane has not signed a new deal yet to recommit his future to the club. And in my head and in my eyes, I believe he's going to leave this summer. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely think he's going to go this summer, and I would imagine that Real Madrid might be willing to stump out the money that it takes to get him. Now, I think there was a report that came out recently. Jose Felix Diaz, I think he's a credible Real Madrid correspondent. He put out an article basically saying that Real Madrid are working on a deal and hope to sign him for around 80 million euros, which I'm not going to lie is laughable. They're not signing Harry Kane for 80 million euros. Spurs are not selling Harry Kane for 80 million euros. Daniel Levy is going to laugh at 80 million euros and will chuck it to the wayside. Why? Because Spurs, in my opinion, should be demanding at least 90 to 100 million from Real Madrid, pounds, not euros, pounds. And to be honest, I'm even being kind. It should be 100. It should be 100. If you can spend 86 million up front for Jude Bellingham in a deal that can go up to 115 million, I get it. He's younger, more potential, etc., etc. But they are buying, or potentially buying, they are looking for a bona fide world class player right in the peak of his powers. 29 years old. He's going to be 30 years old next month. Listen, Benzema's just come, so there's a clear power vacuum at Real Madrid, and someone needs to fill that void. And Harry Kane, we're talking about top two strikers on the planet. Top two, top three strikers minimum on the planet. So if they're coming for Harry Kane, they got to come in with a proper bid, because as much as Harry Kane has got a lot of power in his hands in terms of his own destiny, right? He doesn't have to sign a new deal. As much as I want him to, he doesn't have to sign a new deal. He can keep on going as is. If Spurs don't sell him this summer, then he walks for free next summer, right? But in order for him to, if he wants to leave this summer, it's not in his hands. It's up to the clubs interested in him, like Real Madrid, to come in and make a bid that Daniel Levy would deem acceptable. Now, my preference is clear. I would much rather sell Harry Kane abroad than in the UK. And I know that he wants to break the Premier League record, but in a world where Harry Kane wants to leave the club, which is very visible by his reluctance to sign a new deal, I think he could do both. I think he could leave the club, go to Real Madrid, do great things at Real Madrid, come back and still be within earshot of the Premier League record. I feel like he's someone whose game has never been based on pure physicality. Whilst he can't press like he used to, he's still clever. He still manages to score goals. He's an excellent finisher outside the box and inside the box with both feet. And I feel like with 48 goals away from that record, I think that he could do both. I think that he could leave Spurs and go either to Real Madrid abroad or whoever it is in the UK. That's hopefully not Chelsea, yeah. And win his score his goals, break the record, etc., etc. Like, I feel like he could do both things because he's that good a player. Now, again, my other stance on this is, whilst for me, I prefer for Harry Kane to go abroad. I would much rather see him play for Madrid than play for Man United if he is to leave the club, whether it's this summer or next summer. But my preference is to sell him this summer, right? If he's not going to sign a new deal, and reaffirms his desire to leave, I would sell him this summer. Honestly, I would. I would sell him this summer and get as much money as we can out of the deal. Because for me, I think it's a downright disgrace that we could potentially lose a player of Harry Kane's caliber for free, for free, right? Bearing in mind we're not in Europe this season. I'm rooting for Ange. I feel like he's gonna come in and hopefully have a positive. I've come round to it, and I'm hoping he can have a positive effect on the club. But that's more dependent on Enoch than it is on Ange, as I explained in my previous video, which you can go check out on my channel. So even if Harry Kane was to stay another season, right, it's not a guarantee that means Spurs will get back into Champions League contention. It's much harder. It's a lot harder to finish in the top four now. There's more players involved, not just in the top four race, but in the race for Europa League. So I can very much imagine a scenario next year. In fact, it's the most likely scenario that Spurs don't get Champions League football next year, with or without Harry Kane. So for me, keeping Harry Kane, just for the sake of this supposed Champions League football, which we probably won't get because we finished 8th this season with Kane scoring 30 league goals, and we finished 7th 2 seasons ago with Harry Kane scoring 23 league goals and getting 16 assists. With or without Harry Kane, until Spurs fix the pieces around the team, in the defence, the goalkeeper, the midfield, it's pointless. It's pointless. And my overarching point on this is, a player of Harry Kane's calibre, we simply cannot lose him for £0. It won't sit right with me. I'm not comfortable with it. I can understand the logic. Try and keep him to make a fist as best a chance of meeting your targets as possible next year. Of course, you're going to be in a stronger position with Harry Kane than without him. But the overarching point is that with or without Harry Kane, if Spurs don't reinvigorate this team with new players, new signings for Ange, it's going to be meaningless, right? And even if we do sign new players, it's difficult. It is difficult. I'm of the opinion that you're never as bad as you think you are. But right now, Spurs are bad. We're bad, and we've got no Champions League, which means that we're not going to have as much money to spend. So if Harry Kane actually wants to leave, which is clear in my eyes, it's clear, because if he wanted to stay, he would have signed a new deal. If he wants to leave, Spurs have to do everything in their power to make as much money from his sale. We've seen David Ornstein on 5. He went on 5 podcasts, and he said that he's heard from Harry Kane's camp that they're open to all possibilities. Now, I am not ruling out the chance that Harry Kane can stay at Spurs, right? There's a chance. You never know. Real Madrid may not have enough money. Man United may not have enough money. They may not meet Levy's demands. And for you know, Real Madrid could sign another striker this summer. Man United could sign another striker this summer. And next summer, Harry Kane's options are limited. And he may feel like he's best placed to sign a new deal at Tottenham. But in my head, I feel like Harry Kane as a free transfer will be even a bigger proposition for clubs. And I feel like clubs will make space for a player of Harry Kane's caliber. So in my eyes, I feel like it's a lose-lose. If you sell him this summer, he leaves the club. If you wait till next summer, I still think he leaves the club. So in both those scenarios, I would much rather the scenario where he leaves the club and Spurs get a hefty transfer fee. So if Harry Kane is pushing to leave, which I believe he is, then Spurs should do everything in their power to sell him this summer and make as much money as we can to reinvest into the team. Obviously, a lot of people want him to stay, and I would love for Harry Kane to stay, but I'm being realistic. And while Spurs may drop off in terms of individual quality, because we won't have a world-class player in our team anymore, you never know what doors it could open up for other players to step up, right? Yes, we're going to have a drop-off, but we might have a more multifunctional attack. You never know. All I know is this. It will be a downright travesty if Harry Kane leaves this club for £0. Sorry. I'm never going to find that acceptable. Never. It will take something mad. It will take Spurs doing an absolute madness, right? Winning like 2 cups, or winning the Prem or something like that, or winning a European trophy. Like, it would take something mad for me to say, yep, you know what, you've done a mad thing. Yep, we've kept you. I've seen the benefit. Go. Sorry, getting Champions League football next season just because Harry Kane stayed, it's not enough for me. It's not enough. It won't compensate for the 100 million. And I understand the financials. Yes, we've lost out on 80 to 100 million this season from Champions League. So in theory, if you get Champions League next season, you basically make that money back. But hey ho, we lose Harry Kane for £0 still. I don't want that. But it's just my opinion. And I actually want to hear you guys' opinion. Do you think that he joins Madrid? Do you feel like he'll stay at Spurs? Do you feel like he might go to Man United? Where do you see this Harry Kane saga ending? I'm sure this is definitely not the first video I've spoken about Harry Kane so far this summer. It's going to annoy me that we're going to have to keep talking about it. And I'm sure this won't be the last. But I want to get your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you agree with me that Spurs should do everything in their power to get as much from Harry Kane as possible in terms of a transfer fee this summer if he does want to leave, which I believe he does? I mean, why would you not sign a new deal yet? Why would you let your deal run to the last 12 months of your contract if you were wanting to stay? I think he wants to go. I think he's just waiting for the right offer. But yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you feel like Real Madrid are serious? Do you feel like he could go to a British club? Let me know. And if you do think that you would rather keep Harry Kane and lose him on a free transfer, let me know your comments as to why. Drop them in the description or drop them in the comment section below. But people, as I said, thank you for watching this video. Just a couple of housekeeping things from me. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you comment as well. Let me know your thoughts. I do respond back, right? And make sure you turn your post notifications on because, as I said, I'm going to be a very, very busy bee this summer. So, people, that is it from me. Take care. Peace out. Enoch out.